Rosalee rub out. Miss Kitty. Bounty Killer. Expose Andrew Holness. Singer D and Richie Spice. What if I told you that behind Jamaica's biggest headlines, reggae comebacks, viral TikTok fights, political explosions, celebrity heartbreaks, and even silent tragedies lies a truth far more shocking than the drama you see online? From legends calling out the Prime Minister to young stars exposing toxic love to a beauty queen losing her battle with mental health. This isn't just entertainment. This is reality unfiltered. If you think you've seen it all, think again. Hit like, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications because we're about to dive into the stories others are too afraid to tell. Welcome to Legends of Black Excellence. Reggae revival, Richie Spice returns with Treat Mama Good. In an era where controversy often overshadows creativity, Richie Spice has chosen a different path, one rooted in heart, family, and legacy. Known globally for timeless anthems like Eartha Run Red, Groovin' My Girl, and Youth. Dem Cold, the reggae icon has returned with a brand new track titled Treat Mama Good. This release isn't just another song, it's a cultural reminder of values that Jamaica once held sacred. While many artists chase viral trends, Richie Spice returns to the foundation of reggae healing, upliftment, and truth. The track immediately resonated because the message is universal. No matter your background, we all understand the irreplaceable role of a mother. At a time when violence and vanity dominate the headlines, Richie's voice cuts through the noise with love and wisdom. His reappearance also proves one major point. Real reggae never died, it was simply waiting for a moment like this to rise again. What makes this comeback even more special is the collaboration with singer Diane, also known as Singer D, a rising voice in the roots reggae and lovers rock scene. Their chemistry on the track blends the richness of old-school reggae with a modern melodic touch, creating a sound that appeals to both longtime fans and a younger generation. Singer D's smooth vocals add warmth, while Richie Spice delivers his signature soulful tone, layered with lyrical depth. Their harmony showcases a powerful bridge between generations. In an industry where egos often clash, this collaboration represents something rare: unity and respect. Rather than competing, they uplift each other to create a song with longevity. Fans have praised the duet for feeling authentic healing and classic reggae energy, proving that positive music still has an audience hungry for substance. Beyond the melody, the message of Treat Mama Good is what truly sets it apart. The lyrics gently warn listeners not to wait until it's too late to show appreciation. In Caribbean culture, mothers are the backbone of the household, the silent warriors who sacrifice everything. This song reminds us that fame, money, and social media hype mean nothing compared to the love of the person who raised you. With so many young people growing up without guidance, this track becomes more than entertainment. It becomes a moral compass. The music video, which features family-friendly visuals and real-life scenarios, reinforces the idea that honoring your roots keeps communities strong. While some claim reggae has lost its purpose, this release proves the genre still carries messages of responsibility, gratitude, and unity. It's a wake-up call wrapped in rhythm. The impact has been immediate and powerful. Fans around the world are sharing the song on social media, dedicating it to their mothers, and even using it at family gatherings. Radio hosts are calling it a breath of fresh air in a market oversaturated with negativity. Music critics highlight that this kind of track is exactly what reggae was built on: storytelling with soul. By teaming up with singer D, Richie Spice has sparked hope that a new wave of conscious reggae is on the horizon. Treat Mama Good isn't just a comeback, it's a statement that real artistry still matters. It reminds us that music can inspire change, heal divisions, and bring back cultural pride. As long as artists like Richie Spice continue to release songs with purpose, reggae will never fade. It will evolve, grow, and keep the spirit of Jamaica alive for generations. Miss Kitty versus Rosalee: education, ego, and public dragging. The clash between Miss Kitty and Rosalee became one of the most explosive cultural moments in recent Jamaican media, not because of violence or scandal, but because it exposed a deep divide that has existed in society for years: street smarts versus corporate polish. Miss Kitty, a well-known attorney, radio host, and TV personality, celebrated for her intelligence and confidence, made comments online that many believed were aimed at Rosalee's ongoing legal situation. Her language was formal, her tone authoritative, and her delivery sharp, exactly what viewers expect from someone with multiple degrees and a polished public image. However, while some praised her for being articulate and professional, others felt she was speaking down to people who come from less privileged backgrounds. This tension laid the foundation for a social media eruption that spiraled far beyond a simple disagreement. Rosalee, representing the raw, unfiltered voice of the streets, did not stay silent. She took to TikTok in a fiery live stream and called Miss Kitty out by name, something many were afraid to do. She mocked the media star for claiming to have 85 subjects and a 213-degree attitude, using sarcasm to suggest that Miss Kitty hides behind education to appear superior. Rosalee accused her of being disconnected from real people, overly corporate, and obsessed with followers and image. Her delivery was passionate, aggressive, and unapologetically Jamaican, filled with humor and street slang that resonated with thousands. While some criticized her for being disrespectful, many applauded her courage for challenging what they saw as elitism in the media industry. This wasn't just a personal attack, it was social commentary disguised as shade. The back and forth quickly grew into a national debate about classism, identity, and authenticity. On one side were those who defended Miss Kitty, arguing that education, professionalism, and high standards should be celebrated, not ridiculed. On the other side were those who sided with Rosalee, insisting that intelligence comes in many forms, and that corporate language should not be used as a weapon. The phrase "big words" became a symbol. Some saw it as empowerment, others as intimidation. The situation sparked conversations on talk shows, social platforms, and even workplaces. People questioned, does success require you to conform to a corporate mold? Is being street automatically seen as inferior? Why are outspoken women labeled aggressive while polished women are praised as classy? It became clear that this feud hit deeper than entertainment. It touched Jamaican psychology. What makes this drama unforgettable is that it wasn't just about two women. It was about two worlds colliding. Miss Kitty represents aspiration, education, the dream of rising above poverty through discipline and refinement. Rosalee represents survival, authenticity, and the refusal to let society shame you for being real. Their conflict highlighted the silent war between image and identity, between the boardroom and the backyard. Ironically, both women are powerful in their own spaces, yet instead of building bridges, the system pits them against each other. This feud left people asking hard questions. Can Jamaica respect both intellect and street wisdom? Is there space for different kinds of success? And most importantly, why do we tear down each other instead of uniting against the structures that divide us? This wasn't just drama. It was a mirror. Lava speaks truth when public drama hurts the children. While the battle between Rosalee and Miss Kitty was exploding on social media, a voice of reason suddenly appeared. Lava, also known as Lava Sound, a famous face on TikTok and in the dancehall community. He did not take sides, did not add fuel to the fire, but chose to step into live stream to say what few people dare to say. Adult drama can ruin the future of children. Lava reminded that every word spoken on the internet is recorded, shared, and can come back to hurt children later. While adults are angry and want to win online, they forget that the ones who suffer the greatest consequences are innocent children. Lava says bluntly, when you try to hurt someone, you hurt your own child. This statement is shocking because it touches the truth. In the digital age, everything has traces. Videos, comments, live streams never disappear. When children grow up, they will look back and ask, Why did you say that? Why did my family become a laughingstock? Lava warns that you can break up with your lover, divorce your spouse, but you cannot divorce your role as a parent. Children have to face teasing from friends, shame, psychological trauma, things that no one sees behind the drama spotlight. What makes Lava's advice powerful is not just the content, but because he speaks from experience and an understanding of street culture. Instead of using academic language or moral judgment, he speaks in a down-to-earth, sincere tone that makes the listener feel respected. Lava does not encourage silence, but he does suggest using maturity to resolve conflicts. He emphasizes once you put your personal story online, you no longer have control over the story. The public, the press, and anti-fans will distort, exaggerate, and make things get out of hand. This advice is not just for Rosalee or Miss Kitty, but for all couples who share a child but let emotions guide them. Finally, Lava poses a thought-provoking question. Do you want to win an argument, or do you want your child to be safe? In today's society where drama is more likely to go viral than kindness, Lava is one of the few who dares to speak up for family responsibility rather than views. He reminds that being a parent is not just about providing money, but also about protecting the image, honor, and feelings of your child. Because a wound on the internet can last longer than any breakup. And perhaps in the chaos of social media, maturity is the most viral thing this generation is lacking. Bounty Killer exposes Jamaica's crime and corruption. In the world of Jamaican music, few artists dare to cross the boundaries of entertainment to touch on painful social truths. But Bounty Killer is no ordinary artist. He is the voice of working people, the guardian of the ghetto, and once again he uses Instagram as his strongest weapon. He shares his outrage about the shooting in central Kingston, where 6 people were shot, including 2 9-year-olds and 2 teenagers. What angers him is not just the violence, but the silence of leadership. When police shoot people, streets are blocked, protests erupt. But when young children are injured by criminals, no one speaks up. No protests, no justice. Moral standard is gone, he writes. The conscience of the nation is disappearing. Not stopping at street violence. Bounty Killer pointed directly at an issue that few dare to talk about. Jamaica's seas no longer belong to Jamaicans. He reacted to a video showing people being blocked from beaches, which are the country's natural assets. Resorts, foreign corporations, and investors occupied coastal land under the Beach Control Act 1956, a law that originated during British colonial rule. While the wealthy walked straight through the gates, ordinary people were stopped by guards. Bounty asked, "Why are Jamaicans made second-class citizens in their own land?" The question rang like a wake-up call because it touched a historical wound. Freedoms were bought. Cultures were diminished, and rights were legally stolen. In a series of posts, he also made a controversial proposal that reflected the desperation of the people, allowing qualified people to own guns for self-defense. He said that the licensing laws were too strict, favoring uptown and brown skin, while those living in dangerous areas were not protected. According to Bounty, when only criminals have weapons while honest people are unarmed, society will continue to bleed. This opinion sparked a nationwide debate. Is this a solution or a danger? But whether you agree or disagree, everyone understands one thing: if the government cannot protect the people, they will find a way to protect themselves. Bounty does not shy away from criticism because he does not speak to please anyone. He speaks to wake up the system. Finally, Bounty Killer takes aim at the person most responsible, Prime Minister Andrew Holness. He asks the leader to use his third term not to build an image, but to change the reality. The poor are drowning in crime, losing their land, their rights, and their voices. Dance hall artists are often labeled troublemakers, but in this case, Bounty does what many politicians dare not: speak the truth. He does not represent a party, he represents the people no one listens to. And that is why he is respected as the voice of the people. When an artist puts his life and career on the line to defend justice, he becomes more than just a singer. He becomes the conscience of the nation. Calling out the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness under fire. When Bounty Killer spoke out about violence and injustice, he didn't just speak in generalities. He called out Prime Minister Andrew Holness by name, sending shockwaves through Jamaica. In an angry post, Bounty declared, "You're in your third term. Fix it." It was not just a reminder, but a warning. People were asking, is Jamaica really moving forward, or is it just covering up its deep wounds? Holness had promised to modernize the country, reduce crime, and improve the lives of the poor. But in reality, the guns were still going off. The people were still poor, and the rich continued to enjoy privilege. And when children were being shot, and no roads were blocked, Bounty asked poignantly, who is being protected? Who is being abandoned? Public anger was further compounded by the exposure of another issue. Access to the sea, which should belong to all citizens, is controlled by hotels and foreign investors. Under the 1956 Beach Control Act, resorts can apply for a license from the Prime Minister's office to own the use of the beach. In effect, this turns natural assets into commercial barriers. Jamaicans are stopped by security guards told private property, even on their ancestral land. Bounty Killer rages. Why should foreigners have more rights than citizens? This injustice is not just about tourism, it is about power, money, and government silence. People remember that Andrew Holness was once hailed as a young, modern, new-thinking prime minister. But after several terms in office, the gap between rich and poor has widened. Luxury areas have flourished while working-class communities have been neglected. Bounty stressed that power is not for ribbon-cutting photos, but for addressing the root causes of social problems. He asked Holness not just to change the law of the sea, but also to give the people a voice. In the eyes of the public, this was more than just criticism. It was a call for leadership responsibility. What makes this story special is that an artist, not a politician, has dared to speak for millions. Bounty reminds Holness directly, history will judge you. If a third term only benefits the wealthy, his legacy will be one of failure. If he dares to listen to the people, he could be the man who changes Jamaica forever. This is no longer an Instagram post. It is a warning from the hearts of the people. And the question hangs, will the Prime Minister act, or continue to be silent to his country's cries for help? Young dancehall stars and toxic relationships exposed. While the legends use music to convey social messages, the younger generation of artists are entering a different battlefield: emotions and social media. Instead of keeping their private lives hidden, they bring all their emotions to the internet to share, express, and sometimes explode. One of the most notable situations was when Valiant, a prominent face of modern dancehall, publicly complained that his girlfriend kept calling him babes all the time. It may sound petty, but Valiant said it made him feel suffocated, disrespected, and deprived of personal space. He said it very matter-of-factly without embellishment. Find another word. Just one sentence was enough to make viewers realize even celebrities have everyday emotional problems like anyone else. But Valiant wasn't the only one facing conflict. Artist Raja Wild experienced a much more intense version of drama-filled love. He posted a video on his Instagram story complaining that his girlfriend was following him around all the time, not giving him any alone time. His tone was both tired and frustrated, as if he had been suffering in silence for too long. The video went viral because it reflected a common phenomenon: young artists are often under pressure from their partners, fans, work, and social media all at the same time. People began to question whether fame was killing their ability to maintain a healthy relationship. However, the story does not end there. Raja Wild's girlfriend Spider did not stay silent. She countered by posting, "He can't take confrontation." In other words, she implied that Raja did not dare to face the problem and only complained online. This sparked a debate: who was right, who was wrong. Viewers were caught up in a complex emotional mess. One side said he was being controlled, the other said the other was immature. And this is the point. Social media turns personal conflicts into reality shows, where the audience becomes the judges, and the artist becomes the main character of an unscripted movie. The love drama of Valiant Raja Wild and Spider is not just about love. It reflects the price of fame in the digital generation. Young artists grow up with social media, where sharing emotions becomes a habit. But when every word is recorded, every emotion is scrutinized, love easily turns into a public battlefield. Instead of resolving it in silence, they argue through videos, statuses, stories, to win the right side in front of the public. This creates a dangerous cycle drama: increased views, increased attention, continued drama. And finally, fans realize that behind the spotlight, young artists are just people trying to love in a world that is no longer private. The question is, are they controlling social media? Or is social media controlling them? Cargo's savage. Message to his ex-wife. Francine. Among the countless noisy love stories of young artists, another incident that stunned the audience came from a veteran face, Cargo or Kago. Unlike the ambiguous arguments, he chose to shoot straight without holding back, without beating around the bush. On social networks, Cargo posted an angry video sending a direct message to his ex-wife, Francine. He declared that she would never find anyone better than him, and even used harsh words to degrade her dignity. His anger not only expressed the pain after the breakup, but also exposed the dark side of broken marriages in showbiz, where emotions are no longer kept private but become public weapons. What makes this video so controversial is the level of abuse Cargo uses. He goes beyond personal matters to Francine's image, values, and personal life. For some longtime followers, this is the result of a long-standing feud between the two after their divorce, a never-ending legal and emotional battle. But the public also asks, why would a grown man once successful in music choose to retaliate with harsh words instead of silence or a respectful resolution? Cargo's story reflects a painful reality. When love turns to hate, words can cut deeper than any action. However, this is not just a normal rant. This drama has sparked a larger discussion about marriage in the entertainment industry. Artists often live under financial pressure schedules, fame, and personal ego factors that can easily destroy the sustainability of a marital relationship. When a relationship breaks down, instead of seeking healing, many people choose to use social media to release, unintentionally turning their personal pain into entertaining content for the audience. Not only that, denouncing the other person in front of thousands of followers becomes a fast track to gain sympathy, even though it can hurt both sides. Ultimately, the Cargo-Francine affair illustrates a deeper issue. When respect disappears, all boundaries are erased. Divorce is painful, but divorce in the public spotlight is even more brutal. Because a sentence said online can live forever, a video can be shared thousands of times, and each person's image can be framed by the narrative of the angry person. This is more than just the story of a broken couple. It's a warning about how we handle trauma. Because when love dies, do we bury it peacefully? Or dig it up and burn it in front of the whole world? Birth tourism warning: U.S. Embassy shakes Jamaica. While Jamaican showbiz was exploding with personal drama, an announcement from the U.S. Embassy in Kingston suddenly became the focus of social media, stirring up the community at home and abroad. Instead of being related to artists or scandals this time, the topic touched on a sensitive reality: birth tourism, the phenomenon of pregnant women going to the U.S. to give birth to help the child gain U.S. citizenship under the jus soli law, citizenship by place of birth. The embassy frankly warned, using a tourist visa to give birth to a child in order to gain citizenship for the child is a violation of the law. This message is not only a reminder but also a direct attack on a behavior that has existed quietly for many years. The public response was mixed. One group argued that the U.S. had the right to tighten the immigration system because it was being abused. They argued that many families who came to the U.S. to give birth did not pay hospital fees, putting pressure on the healthcare system. Data from previous studies showed that tens of thousands of children were born in the U.S. to parents who were not legal residents each year, causing the government to worry about costs and visa fraud. However, another group immediately rebutted Jamaicans. Do not do this out of greed. but because they want their children to have a future. With a low minimum wage, limited health care, and few job opportunities, they believed that finding a way abroad was the option for survival. What made this announcement a viral topic was that it touched the hearts of thousands of Caribbean families. On Facebook and Twitter, a series of questions were raised. Is giving birth in the U.S. morally wrong or illegal? What is the Jamaican government doing to prevent people from leaving their homeland? Why are the poor controlled while the rich still buy visas, invest in real estate, and become legal citizens easily? The concept of passport privilege appeared. A passport privilege where the rich can move freely while the poor have to fight for every entry stamp. The controversy lies not only in the violation, but in the inequality of opportunity. The U.S. Embassy's message unintentionally exposes a larger reality. When the domestic system fails to provide hope, people will find a way out by any means. Birth tourism is not just an individual act, but a symptom of a society that feels trapped. Tightening laws can stop the behavior, but cannot eliminate the cause. If small countries do not improve their health, education, and economy, the dream of giving birth in America will persist, whether banned or not. And the biggest question circulating online is the fault with the people, or with the system that forces them to choose that path. From one goat to another, Serena crowns Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. When it comes to the greatest sports icons in Jamaican history, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is always at the top. From a tiny girl to the pocket rocket, who rocked the 100 meters, she won 8 Olympic medals and 10 World Championship titles, becoming the greatest female sprinter of all time. This year, Shelly-Ann officially announced her retirement, ending a career that spanned more than 15 years, where she broke all barriers of age, height, and prejudice. But what moved audiences most was not just her achievements. It was how she represented strength, sacrifice, and the Jamaican spirit on the global stage. To honor her legendary career, she was invited to the Athelos event in New York, a night that honored sports icons who had a profound impact on the world. But the moment that brought the crowd to its feet wasn't the speech or the video tribute, but when Serena Williams, the Queen of Tennis, walked onto the stage with her crown. In that historic moment, one GOAT passed the baton to another. Serena, who has 23 Grand Slam titles, placed the crown on the head of Shelly-Ann, who has dominated speed for more than a decade. It wasn't just a formality, it was an acknowledgement 2 women of color had changed the sport forever. This GOAT-to-GOAT moment goes beyond individual recognition. It sends a powerful message about women in sports. In a world where men often steal the spotlight, Shelly-Ann and Serena prove that women can not only compete, but redefine greatness. Both are mothers, both return to competition after having children and still reach the top. They shatter the notion that a woman's career has to stop for family. They don't just win races, they change the rules. The image of Serena crowning Shelly-Ann became iconic. Female power isn't about competition, it's about legacy and support. The event also reminded Jamaica that Shelly-Ann was more than just an athlete, she was a national legacy. She founded academies to support children, funded education, and inspired a new generation. When she took her crown, the world stood up not just for her lightning-fast strides, but for the heart of a fighter. From Waterhouse Street to the New York stage, her journey proved that starting point does not determine the destination. And when a legend like Serena says, "You are the standard," the world knows that Shelly-Ann is more than just the Queen of Jamaica. She is a global symbol of resilience, feminism, and true greatness. Popcon's power move, construction business, and billboard success. While many dance hall artists focus solely on the stage and fame, Popcon has proven that greatness lies not only in music, but also in strategic vision. Instead of spending lavishly like many other stars, he has begun to expand into real business. Recently, Popcon announced Good Life Constructions, a construction and real estate development company in Jamaica. It may seem unusual for a dance hall artist to invest in infrastructure, but Popcon understands that land is the real asset. This project is not just a personal business, but also creates jobs for local people contributing to the development of the country. He is transforming his image as an artist into an entrepreneur and doing it smartly. Popcaan isn't the first artist to make money outside of music, but he's one of the few who knows how to build a lasting empire. Good Life. Constructions has heavy machinery, a professional team, and ambitions to expand to multiple areas of the island. In the videos he shares, fans see a different Popcaan. Not just the stage star, but the team leader, the contractor, the person who understands the value of material assets. He once said, "It's better to invest in the community than in vanity." This resonates with many because he's not chasing a showy lifestyle, but is aiming for sustainability. Popcaan isn't just making money, he's building the future. Make no mistake though, Popcaan isn't neglecting music. In fact, he's doing what no other Jamaican artist has done in the entire 2020s, debuting on the Billboard 200. His 2020 album, Fixtape, debuted at number 94 on the Billboard 200, a chart traditionally dominated by American hip-hop, pop, and R&B. What's amazing is that the album was released as a surprise without a major promotional campaign, without any scandal. The power of his music and the loyalty of his international fans have propelled him to a position that many Caribbean artists dream of. In an industry that's difficult for artists outside the US, this achievement is historic. So Popcaan represents a new model of artist, not just creative, but strategic. Not just famous, but visionary. He uses his music to go out into the world, then uses his global status to invest back home. This is the difference between a spender and a creator. In the eyes of his fans, Popcaan is more than a performer. He is a symbol of maturity, autonomy, and evolution. When an artist can move from the stage to the boardroom, from the Billboard charts to the construction site, he is no longer a star. He becomes the next generation of leaders of Jamaican culture. Skillibeng goes global with Grammy considerations. In the new era of dancehall, one name has risen like lightning and broken all boundaries: Skillibeng. In just a few years, he has transformed from an underground artist to a global phenomenon. With his chopped flow, unique beat handling, and boundless creativity, Skillibeng represents the modern wave of Gen Z dancehall. But what has the world taking notice is more than just social media buzz, it's official recognition from the international music industry. This year, he's up for 3 Grammy nominations, a rare feat for a young Jamaican artist. It signals that dancehall isn't just alive, it's evolving. The first category is Best Reggae Album, which goes to Skillibeng's international EP. Notably, this EP strays from the traditional roots path, blending trap, hip-hop, and Afrobeat to create a modern hybrid sound that still retains its Jamaican soul. His bold production and collaborations with international artists have allowed Skillibeng to reach a global audience without losing his identity, leading many critics to call him a bridge between old dancehall and the future. The fact that a short but powerful EP is nominated in this major category shows that the Grammys are gradually opening up to new creative expressions of the Caribbean sound. But the biggest shock was that Skillibeng was also considered for Record of the Year and Song of the Year, the 2 most prestigious Grammy categories, usually reserved for superstars like Adele, Beyoncé, or Bruno Mars. The appearance of a young dancehall artist on the list of consideration surprised the international community. This proved that Skillibeng's influence is not only in his homeland, but has spread around the world. The song Shake It to the Max, in which he featured with Molly and Shensia, became a viral hit with millions of streams widely played on international radio. Skillibeng officially brought dancehall into the global music flow instead of standing on the sidelines. Beyond the numbers, what matters most is that Skillibeng has changed the concept of a new generation of Jamaican artists. He doesn't wait for opportunity, he creates it. He doesn't limit himself to geography. He pushes the Jamaican voice straight into the European and American markets. Skillibeng proves that Gen Z dancehall isn't weakening. It's adapting, innovating, and exploding like never before. With 3 Grammy nominations under his belt, he's become a new symbol of international recognition. And if the previous generation paved the way, Skillibeng is accelerating down that path at rocket speed. The question isn't will he win a Grammy, but what other records will he break? Tragedy of Tyra Spalding, mental health and the cost of fame. Amidst the glamour of beauty pageants, few people realize that behind the smiles and bright lights are souls under heavy pressure. Tyra Spalding, a former Miss Universe Jamaica contestant, is a heartbreaking example. She was once praised for her elegant beauty stage presence and star potential. However, when the lights went down, Tyra faced silent battles within herself. In many videos posted on YouTube, she openly shared about depression, loneliness, and feeling trapped, but the world just passed by as if it were normal content. No one thought that those confidences were her final cry for help. Tragedy struck when Tyra took her own life, sending shockwaves through Jamaica. Relatives revealed that she had long struggled with mental health issues without receiving adequate support. The family, shocked and heartbroken, were forced to appeal to the community to help cover funeral costs, a harsh reality that shows that even once bright faces can fall into financial difficulty. Many fans asked, why did a girl who appeared on the big stage leave so quietly? The answer lies in a cruel truth. Beauty may open doors, but it does not protect anyone from mental trauma. Tyra's story has sparked a major debate about mental health in the beauty and entertainment industries. Beauty pageant contestants are not only required to maintain a perfect image, but also face pressure from social media, family expectations, harsh appearance standards, and endless comparisons. A small mistake can become the subject of thousands of malicious comments. Worse, many people believe that beauty is not allowed to be sad, leaving victims feeling isolated and afraid to ask for help. Tyra bravely spoke out about her feelings, but society has not really listened. That is the biggest failure. Tyra's death is not only a personal loss, but also a powerful wake-up call. It raises the question, is human worth being equated with appearance? If a beautiful, talented girl who represented her country still feels hopeless, how many people out there are suffering in silence? Mental health does not discriminate against gender, beauty, or fame. It should be treated as seriously as any other health issue. Tyra Spalding is gone, but her story can save others if we learn to listen, understand, and accept that behind the crown sometimes lies a broken heart. From reggae legends to rising stars, from political battles to silent struggles, Jamaica's stories prove that behind every headline is a deeper truth. We saw artists speak for the voiceless young talent wrestle with love in the spotlight, and even beauty queens fall under the weight of unseen pain. These moments remind us that fame does not equal freedom, and success does not protect the soul. Whether it's the streets or the stage, everyone is fighting something.